Senior Vice President of America Rising Corporation, David Burstein, co-founder of Run for America. And I just want to point out that Congressman Lee Zeldin, whom I mentioned earlier this hour, put out on his Twitter, "Speaker Pelosi, please speak. We can't be silent." And then he has the handle for Congresswoman Omar: remove anti-Semitism from the House foreign, remove flagrant hostility, so on and so forth. And this call for an apology, but we haven't gotten one yet.
No, and she should apologize. She should absolutely apologize. I think if there's going to be a standard for hate, there should be an equal standard across all groups of people and across all political parties. You know, I think that, you know, it really is hypocritical for Democrats who are very quick to blast Republicans when they are prejudicial towards groups that support Democrats, to sort of not take a similar action, people in their own ranks. Because that's, I mean, Democrats should hope that the argument Democrats are making is that they are better because they are willing to stand up to things in their own party. They were willing to stand up to Al Franken and remove him, et cetera. So this is inconsistent with that argument, and more than that, it's the wrong thing to do. I
should point out that Congresswoman Omar has been critical of the Palestinians, or I should say of the treatment of Palestinians, and supported a boycott. So on and so forth.
And that's a legitimate policy debate, to talk about, you know, the way that we treat Palestine. That's a part of a policy debate. But once you get into this territory, now you're talking about something else that's no longer a policy debate.
So, Alex, she's accusing AIPAC of paying members of Congress for having a positive relationship with Israel. And then when pressed about it, she said it's all about the Benjamins, which, of course, is money.
How utterly despicable. I've had the privilege to work with AIPAC, and there is no group in Washington that makes more of an effort to reach across the aisle on this particular issue than AIPAC. They do not contribute directly to members of Congress, so her claim to the contrary is just absolutely false. And I will say, you know, the silence from the Democratic House leadership is sort of telling on this, and I think on the 2020 candidates as well. Someone like Cory Booker really came to power through the New Jersey Jewish community.
You're nodding and agreeing in this.
Kirsten Gillibrand has problems of her own with the BDS, movement, or BDS resolution that she failed to support. So there's, there are issues, I think, on the horizon for these Democratic candidates who are not taking this issue seriously and not fighting it in their own backyard.
You know what? I want to just read the top, just to give you an idea of who's on this press release. Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Majority Leader Steny Hoyer, Majority Whip James Clyburn, Assistant Speaker Ben Ray Lujan, Caucus Chairman Hakeem Jeffries, and so on. I mean, this now is a concerted effort. The first line, anti-Semitism must be called out.
Yeah, and it should. I mean, you know,
why did it take so long?
There's not a good excuse for that. I mean, I think there is, you know, I can tell you the political reason probably why they did it, which is that they didn't want to criticize their own people, and I think that's just really disingenuous. It's really hypocritical to run around criticizing, and I don't want to get into a business of equating and saying who's what and what, but to criticize Steve King the second he says something, but then about one group of people, and then when another hateful statement is made, hate is hate. If you're going to be hateful, it's hateful, and you got to be consistent across the board. I don't agree with the resignation politics that we're in, but if we're going to be in it, we should be equal.
Dicey week for some Democrats. You've got the Virginia situation and this. Thank you both. I'll be right back.
Thanks, Harris.
Nothing can prepare you to